So, last time we started up here in Mesa City, and I don't know for a fact if we're going to finish Mesa. Going by our current track record, we probably will. But I've got a surprise for you. Murray's going to do something again.
This is what I live for.
Okay, so what do I do?
It's amazing. So don't be fooled by the fact that we're talking about me. This is Murray's time to shine.
Hey, my name is Bentley, and this stupid camera thing is in the way again. I hate Skype. It's been doing this a lot. Oh, his belly moves a lot. Wow. Holy moly.
Yes, it does. Okay, so it's attack with the X button.
Yeah, isn't he a big wimp?
Yes, in this game at least. Every other game, he's literally anything but.
Yeah, he's the brute force.
Yeah.
Which is the archetype you'd assume he'd have.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little disappointed they didn't keep him with the whole wimpy aesthetic.
I kind of am too. Like, I'm fine with the brute, but
the brute is like, it's just you expect it. I think is the thing that really irks me away from it, and I like the whole. I guess to an extent, the big guy that is a wimp is also kind of overused, but I think it's more underused than the brute who is the brute. Like imagine Knuckles, except he acts like a tough guy. But in the end, he's just a scaredy cat.
How did I not hit Murray? Because I know you can damage him.
It's actually pronounced Murray.
Like that.
Halfway there.
He's only halfway there. Oh, no.
No.
Okay, on second thought, I'm starting to see why they might have done away with this part of his personality. This is a little obnoxious.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh, no. Oh,
I'm gonna.
The dog is so fast.
So like, does this not have a safe in it too, or is this just like the first part of the level?
The mini game levels don't have saves.
Why is this place with so many mini games?
I mean, it has two.
It's a lot. It might have more. I don't know, offhand.
I feel like it only has two. But they usually don't have that many.
They have 74.
Which is especially impressive because they cap off the number of levels at 7. That includes minigames. So weird remembering that I have the fast ability now. Which unfortunately you cannot use for the time trials. Or I mean, you can, but the timer speeds up with you, so there's no point.
Sorry, I'm a little untalkative because I'm still baffled on this whole Steelbook thing.
This? There it is. Okay.
You just killed a man, probably.
Oh, definitely. So, what's our total body count now?
732.
It's not as bad as I was expecting!
Times 7.
It's still pretty good.
Now that's right. Okay, times 4.
Okay,
After
well.
you're timesing it by 2.
So we need 2 more. Okay. I was expecting Bentley to say something when I ran up there, but he didn't.
I just want to say this whole Steelbook thing, which is really throwing me off, by the way. So technically, what they do is they ship it as 2 items. They make the game cost less, and then they make the Steelbook cost something. So then it equals up to 60. That is so weird.
You're gonna have to explain that for the sake of the video.
I mentioned this to a friend, and they're like, it's pretty common. I'm like, I've never seen this. I've never seen somebody just sell a game or the game and a Steelbook, because then there's no reason to get the normal game. So basically, just so everyone can be on the lowdown, I think the game won't be out by the time this is uploaded, too. Yeah, it won't. So Sekiro, which, when this is uploaded, is not out. But the pre-order page on Amazon has 2 versions. you can either buy the game, or you can buy the game.
About time you showed up, Miss Fox.
Or you can buy the game and what's it called? And the Steelbook, and they're both the same price. Oh, now you catch him again?
Oh, I know. She didn't even show up in the last area until after you beat the boss.
Why are you talking to him? Just fucking catch him. He's right there. You're right in his face. Just catch him.
Nah, I hear the service.
Shoot him. Kill him.
You'll know for yourself.
If your goal is to kill him, kill him. You could have
She wants to kill him. She is a police officer.
Yeah, but he's a bad guy, and some bad guys get shot. It's just how it works.
His worst crime is theft. Match the crime, man.
See, sometimes no, definitely murder.
Okay, yeah, sorry, you're right. Worst crime is murder. I don't know what I was thinking there.
He's definitely.
These variants of stages, and yes, this is a variant. It's like a normal stage, but you have to run really fast. It's basically training for the time trial.
Up more games, more modern games to see if this is it. Apparently this is a Japanese game almost only thing, but I swear to God I have never seen this in my entire life. And that is why
I know it's not in Kingdom Hearts 3. I would have bought just the Steelbook or whatever it was you said that was included.
We go to Devil May Cry 5. There's no Steelbook option. That's a Japanese game. Give me some modern Japanese releases, like games that are made from Japanese devs.
I just gave you one.
Well, besides Kingdom Hearts 3, because we already know that one didn't happen.
I haven't been paying that deep of attention.
Persona 5? I know the game's kind of old, but I don't think that would make much of a difference. Oh hey, it's on sale again. Joke's on you, I already bought the game.
I bought it at launch.
There's a Steelbook edition for $112. Because there's more to it than just the Steelbook. I think it's actually like a collector's edition. No, it's not.
Oh crap, I have to be sneaky again.
Interesting. This is so fucking weird. I need my friends to give me examples. I'm just so fucking baffled right now. I've just never seen such a thing. Steelbooks are great. If I could have like a collection of just Steelbooks, that would be really cool. The only downside is, at least for my Kingdom Hearts 3 one, I don't think the side says Kingdom Hearts 3 on it. Oh no, it does. It's just really hard to read.
You found the
Does it?
blueprints for
I have it in
Muggshot's
view, I don't
additions to
see it.
Mesa City.
It's
Oh,
really hard to
I'll
read.
be able to help you find all his clues and
My
breakables.
PS4 Pro Box, which yes, I
Just
still
look
have that
for your
out,
to get
is
the
blocking it,
information.
so... Oh, now I get the blueprints! They're useless now! There's only one stage left.
What are the blueprints for again?
It's so you can see clue bottles with your binoculars, which would have been really nice in the last part, but
Maybe you should have done this level first.
it doesn't matter. They have it scripted in order, so you'll get them in a specific order.
This world is kind of boring. It's all kind of samey to me.
I would say this one is way more varied than the last one.
Well, minigames wise, yes.
Well,
But when you're playing
I wasn't even thinking of that.
when you're playing as Sly, I don't know. It seems kind of
Casino, rooftops, desert.
the tutorial level was pretty good. Well, I mean, this is still kind of casino-ish.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go by that argument, the last world was all swamp.
I'm more of looking at these like the lamps and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, why didn't they just get different? It doesn't make any sense that the lamps look as good as they do.
I mean, it's
It's
supposed
kind
to
of
be the
weird.
same area.
I know. I don't know. It's just a little nitpick, mind you. It's not really like an actual complaint that I would say is game breaking.
I'm gonna hunt you down, Cooper. You can't run.
Hey, why did she jump on a blimp? I just noticed. What? Okay, and she faded into obscurity.
Goodbye. Never to be seen again.
Seeing the... oh no, she's still there. It's just an outline. They didn't fade her out entirely. Well, okay, see you in the fourth world. Because that's how this works. We're not going to see you in the third one. Screwed that jump up.
Somebody's trying to tell me about how there's games that do this, and it's like they're mentioning how it has an art book, steelbook, this and that. And I'm just like, no, stop telling me about the collector's edition. Tell me about games that have they're selling a steelbook version of the game for the same price as the normal game. Look here, this is a very bizarre concept to me. Because when I see something like that, I would imagine they would charge like something ridiculous, like $20 more.
I guess they're just really popular over there. Steelbooks, I mean, personally, I never use them, but again, mostly digital gamer, so.
I never want to be a digital gamer.
Well,
I like having
you
physical
have Steam,
media.
So,
well, I mean, outside of that, obviously, but they don't sell physical, like, PC games ever anymore. They used to all the time, but if they sold PC physical games again, I actually think I probably would.
you don't even have a disk drive.
Yeah, I do.
I thought you said before you got rid of it.
No, I might have told you. I might have talked to you when it was having some problems. But that was years ago. It's fine now. You know, I have a disk drive. I used to just have issues. It used to basically the plug inside was not fully plugged in. So, yeah. But it is now.
Okay, I really thought you didn't have it. Maybe I was talking to somebody else. Or maybe he was talking about the PC you're trying to build?
No, I'm gonna definitely have... I think I kind of need a disk drive.
I have to have one because I need it for my job. But
Granted, a lot of people can get away with USB-only sort of stuff nowadays, but having a disk drive is nice just in case those off chances something does come with a disk that you know, for convenience sake, you can just get it done and over with. Like, you know how when you're buying something that requires software and they usually come with a disk? Granted, you could buy it, usually you can download it on their website. For a safety measure, I usually get it on the disk, and then if I need to update it, I'll go to their website or whatever. It's just such a weird... No, the only game somebody has told me that has done something like this was Yakuza. They had an edition. That was the Steelbook, but it was free. It was free if you bought the physical edition, obviously. And that was coming from one of my friends who also is mostly a digital person.
surprised they would even know it then.
I think they just wanted the Steelbook.
Possible.
Because you're telling me if you saw a game that you saw a nice Steelbook for, you wouldn't want it?
But I don't like Steelbooks, so no.
Oh, I thought you... Well, the Kingdom Hearts one...
They can look pretty, but...
The Kingdom Hearts one you said you
It
wanted.
looks clean as hell. No.
But you said if it had a Steelbook only version, you would have bought that.
I said I would have considered it. Or at least that's what I meant to say. I don't know if that's exactly what I said.
No, you said you were gonna buy, you would have bought that.
Well,
instead.
I mean, because if it's like what you're talking about with Seiko, where it's more content, then sure. For the same price.
I wish it was more content. It's just a Steelbook. You just get a free Steelbook, which is cool because I like Steelbooks. Steelbooks are awesome. Some of them look... The reason why I like Steelbooks is because sometimes... This isn't all the time, of course. Sometimes game art can be pretty bland, and then the Steelbook ends up looking substantially better for some reason. So it's like, well, I would like to get the Steelbook instead because it's like that. But half the time it's gated behind a collector's edition. In some games, I'm like, why would I want to buy a collector's edition for a game series that I'm not particularly that into? I'm not going to drop $80, $100 depending on what it is just to get that. It's very game dependent.
Even if you are a fan, you still might not necessarily want it.
Well, if I'm a fan of a series and there's a collector's edition, like a big fan of a series and there's a collector's edition, there's almost a high probability I'll get it. Like Dark Souls, for example, even though that series is basically done at this point as far as we're concerned, it's like if say a Dark Souls 4 came out and there was a collector's edition, that would be the one that I'd immediately jump on. I think that was actually how it's been for Dark Souls 1, 2, 3. Like I got all the collector's edition. Though I got I got the PC version, so the collector's version in those cases were what's it called? Just like the season passes and whatever.
There's 10 of them somewhere. At least assuming this is the end.
You know what the real question is though? When are we getting a new Sly game?
Possibly never. But we're kind of in this weird spot.
Have they ever talked about the possibility of a new one?
I mean, there's companies that have flirted with the idea, but Sucker Punch, which is the developer of the original trilogy, clearly have no interest in it anymore. Like, it's not quite as bad as, say, Naughty Dog and Jak and Daxter. Like, there's still a slim chance, but...
Plus, they're knee-deep in making the Ghost of Tsushima right now.
And even if they wasn't, Infamous is doing way better for them, so...
I just figured Infamous was done at this point.
I mean, people thought it was done before Second Son came out.
Yeah, but it's been literally 5 years since the last Infamous, I think. It's been a while.
It was either a launch title for PS4 or at the very least it came out shortly after.
So yeah, it would have been about 5-ish years, which is really crazy. This has been a particularly long generation, I feel like.
It's still shorter than the last one.
Yeah, the last one was 6 years or something. 6-7 years.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, there's a part of me that's always been well, I think there's a part of me that thinks this generation of consoles won't really go away anytime soon. I feel like they're just gonna make sort of the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro. It's at this point, I don't know what can be done to make a console so much bigger. You know what I'm saying, right? I don't know what kind of leap in technology you can make to make games look this much more amazing, or
people said the same thing before the PS4 and Xbox One came out.
Which, yeah, that makes sense, but I feel like now we're kind of at a point where, especially because I swear, as years go on, games look better and people are starting to optimize them even better. I think a good example is, even though Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't the most realistic game, that game manages to hold yeah, except for Pyre, the game manages to hold basically consistent. Even though you have to put on some specific settings on the PS4 Pro, the game basically holds a stable 60 FPS, and the game looks phenomenal.
Sometimes.
For the most part, is what I said. I know it doesn't all the time, but for the most part.
It is the most stable version of the game.
Yeah, and that's really impressive, given how good the game looks. So... yeah, I don't... we could... for sure, we could expand and make things look better, but I'm more of thinking,
Circle to enter the vault code.
If a new console came out, how big of a leap would it be? Nintendo is the only company I can think of, because they're always, behind on technology. What company, on a PS4 or for Sony and Microsoft, what would be a new console that is substantially better than the One
Another
X,
trophy.
of course. But yeah, but like, what is more substantial than something like the One X or the PS4 Pro? Like, if they're gonna make a new console, I feel like it would have to be substantially higher, like, quality than that, and people have to make something that is so mind-blowingly good looking, like from a visual aspect, that we're basically looking like real life, essentially, that you'd have to get my interest for. Like, my mindset right now is like, I only have reason to get like if I had an Xbox One, I would only have a reason to get an Xbox One X, and if I had because I have a PS4, I only really have a reason to get a PS4 Pro, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I would have any reason to never get something better than that, unless for like some game I really wanted it was on like a PlayStation 5, and theoretically.
I mean, that's what's always going to end up driving. It's going to be exclusives. It's always
of course, but I think, as far as I'm aware, though this could just be something completely under wraps, the Sony doesn't seem to be doing anything like that. I heard rumors that Microsoft might be making a new console sometime real soon, but I haven't heard anything.
Absolutely.
But I haven't heard anything about Sony yet. I've only
heard it about... Why do you think they're not doing E3? Guarantee you it's for console.
Maybe. I mean, the Xbox One and PS4 were both announced before E3, which was the smartest idea, because then you could get everyone prepared for E3 for that console, which is what they did, and that's why Sony won that year.
Well, I mean, it's not so much Sony won as much as Microsoft lost, but yeah.
It's more of Sony killed Microsoft for a good year. They were
like Microsoft just shot themselves in the foot.
They shot themselves in the foot, and then it was basically like they shot themselves in the foot, and then it was like Sony was beating up a mentally disabled person at that point.
Okay, yeah, I'll accept that one.
That's like the best analogy I can think of offhand.
I wasn't really watching E3 things back then, but I did go back and watch that. It's like, it looks like it's a press conference for businessmen. Like, they're not trying to sell to consumers at all. It was absolutely amazing.
Oh no, they were just trying to kick Microsoft while they were already down.
No, I mean, that's what Microsoft was doing, not Sony.
Oh. Well, Sony was they were literally just bullying at that point. They're like, let's talk about the PS4, but let's also talk about in the way on how much better it is than Microsoft's Xbox One.
I mean,
that was funny.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft basically did the same thing at the 360 and PS3 started that generation, so I guess they saw it as a form of payback.
Realistically, like, if you really think about it, that E3 wasn't even a good E3 overall. It, like, in terms of, like, for the gamers and all that sort of stuff, it was just funny as hell to watch.
Again, I wasn't watching E3 back then, so I wouldn't know.
It was just a funny time, because most people were like, because, you know, when people think about E3, they're like, oh, let's hear about the new games and stuff like that, right? That was one of those situations where I don't think anybody really cared about the games, and everyone was just really laughing at how ridiculous things were getting. Because it's just a big yikes. But it's really funny because a lot of people back then would be supporting Sony like crazy, but times have kind of changed. I think a lot of people are angry with Sony right now. I mean, I'm angry.
I'm furious with them. Although I didn't even like Sony much back then. Although I like them a lot less now.
They've always been really shady and pretty shady. Their egos
have always shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I think it's just now people are starting to like actually pay attention and care about it is what's happening. But yeah, consoles are stupid.
I don't know.
Well, now that
it's telling when Nintendo is more humble than Sony is. That's all I have to say.
Now that I'm getting this Steelbook for the game, every game I pre-order, I would love a Steelbook version of the game. Sekiro does have a... It does have a collector's edition, but that's GameStop.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
First of all, I don't have the money to drop on something like that, for one. Second of all, I don't want to drive to GameStop.
Besides,
I used to get all
even
my
if
games there.
You go there, and they just try to sell you a bunch of other games.
The ones I've been to have been pretty good about not doing that.
Like, of course they have to.
Yeah,
Like, personally, when I went to pick up Cage 3, they was really trying to sell me on Jump Force, but... It's like, yeah, that's funny. No, I don't even like anime. That was never gonna happen.
But the only time I was really bad was I was getting... I went to physically purchase, what's it called? When I went to physically purchase, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5, they were trying to sell me on pre-ordering Kingdom Hearts 3, and I would have done it, granted, but I gave them like the most honest answer I could possibly give them. I'm like, I don't believe their release date, so I'm just gonna wait till it's more concrete. and then by oh my god, of course, I'm not even surprised at this point. But yeah, then by the time that happened, I stopped pre-ordering and grabbing stuff at GameStop. I think the only reason why I bought 1.5 and 2.5 at that GameStop is because compared to the Amazon price, it was like really cheap. But for some reason, it was at one GameStop and not the other.
We now have the Sly Cooper variant of the decoy glove.
Is it as good? I would assume it is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can still clip through walls. Because that's basically the only reason you would ever use the decoy glove.
Well, the decoy glove is pretty good in Ratchet and Clank. Especially on some of the harder levels.
It's just not worth it.
Have you used it in the first game? Because I'll show you.
Again, it is the first game. It is only good for the glitches. But you're better off just going in full guns blazing.
Oh, I use it a lot at the very final levels because the levels are rough. I'll show you what I mean. I'm a little disappointed it didn't come back in 3, but it's not. It could, because I really could have used it in some of the later levels. But what it even comes. Oh, dude, wait a minute. The collector's edition has an even better steelbook. You can't do stuff like that.
Well, I guess you're going to GameStop.
No, I'm not dropping. I think it's $90, I think. I'm gonna drop freaking $90 on a game when I already don't have. Yeah, $90 on a game. Which, I mean, that's not that bad. It does come with a little figure. And yeah, it comes with a wow, that is so. And it comes with an art book and a soundtrack and 3 old Japanese coins for some reason. Oh, it also comes with a map? Though having a 7-inch figure is pretty cool. It's basically like having a little, Actually, if you really think about it, that is a really good deal.
We're almost done at the part now, and you non-stop talked about this pre-order for a game that's gonna date the video in like 2 weeks.
Look here, this steelbook nonsense threw me through the biggest loop I've ever had in my entire life ever, because I didn't even know such things existed.
Like, I've had to intentionally break the flow just to mention anything related to what's happening on the game multiple times now.
Well,
so you don't mind just handing it over?
You shouldn't have skipped leg day, friend.
I should be telling you that.
But my legs are fine, though. I was running today. What do you mean? I didn't skip leg day. I became leg day. I think I did at least.
You don't even know? Whatever, another easy boss. Just hit all the mirrors.
Hit all of them. Every single one.
Well, you have to, so yeah.
My beautiful gun is destroyed.
I love how it doesn't damage him at all, it just breaks his gun. He's still upset.
What gun does he even have? Is it a Tommy? I hope it's a Tommy. Let me look. Oh, wait a minute. You could have fell to the bottom floor. You're telling me that he died? Psh. Those aren't Tommy guns, I don't think. I think those are just some weird revolvers. I actually have no idea. I don't even think those are real guns. He's like Incineroar from Smash Brothers Ultimate. He shoots you and he makes a pose.
I guess this is what I get for calling the boss easy. Now I can't stop dying to him.
He's a good. I like Incineroar. Look at that! It's literally Incineroar.
Gun is destroyed.
Wait, why'd he get rid of his guns? Oh, it's because we're on the second phase.
Second phase.
Why would
Apparently
you
the
drop
mirrors
the
don't
gun?
damage him, they just damage the guns. He's like, oh, my gun's destroyed. I have spares upstairs, and then he runs up there.
Then he gets a new pair.
Exactly. Dude, don't spoil the third phase.
Oh, sorry. Phase 3. Mayo jumps off the edge again.
Only 2 lives left too.
I forgot this game had lives.
The others don't, it's just this one.
Honestly, this is one of those games where I feel like it feels kind of redundant to have lives, honestly.
It's most platformers in general. 3D platformers, at least.
Good thing I got a spare.
Yeah, like, I mean, some I can kind of understand.
Kind of, but only really for the sake of having a collectible.
Yeah, I guess so. Like one of them I think of offhand is like Banjo-Kazooie. That's the first one. The second one has none. Like, it feels really... I guess it is pointless, come to think of it. I was gonna say it feels harmless. I was like, yeah, all of them can feel harmless. That one's just pointless, though. Trying to think of one. Like, Mario 64, I guess it more is, like, not completely pointless. I mean, I can see why there. Especially if they're keeping with the tradition of the old Marios. At least it makes more sense in that regard. Actually, I take everything back. Lives are just pointless.
There actually is a third phase!
Actually, I slightly take back what I said. Lives are mostly pointless in games. I think in arcade games and only old games they feel acceptable,
Well,
like
yeah,
NES
that's
style
why I was
stuff.
saying, like, specifically 3D platformers. It fits in the older ones that are made to be more difficult.
Yeah, as for like, as soon as you hit the 3D era, honestly, as soon as you hit certain points of the SNES era, I feel like just it's pointless to have lives at all. Like, what's even the point? Like,
It's just to force people to replay the game again.
Like I'm looking at, like, you mentioned that there's lives in this game, which for one I completely forgot, and I mostly forgot because when I look at this game, my first response is, why would there be lives? Like, that was also really close.
Mm-hmm. But he was guarding the walkway, so I kind of had to make the jump.
This boss is easy, he says. Also, I love his little boss icon picture. I hope that's the...
Oh, I didn't even notice.
It's pretty good.
That is great. That looks like something one of us would draw. Like, maybe slightly better.
Make that the thumbnail, please. For me.
No, that's better than anything I would ever attempt.
Yeah, it has shading. We
Exactly,
can't
I
give
don't bother with shading.
we can't give them too much flack.
Like,
if it didn't
at
have
most-
shading, though.
At most, I will put the color black somewhere. But that's your shading. I was sitting circle. Whatever.
I don't shade. I never go in the shade. Oh my god, look at it now. I didn't notice it, but I saw this like I saw this like big red like blotch, and I was like, oh my gosh.
What? Oh, I thought I was stuck in the cutscene. No, there's one more. Well, I just lost my hit.
You'll be fine.
I think about my last life.
I don't even understand what how you're hitting him.
I'm not. I'm just damaging his gun.
Stop calling me San Juan.
Never! We will never stop trying to call you!
I don't know a single soul from San Juan. Let's see how pointless the game over is.
Completely!
Oh wow, it is. There isn't even a game over. That's how pointless it is.
It just says game over, try again. And then warps you right back to this. What's the point?
I didn't even see the game over, try again part. What the heck? I just saw that you died and then I saw you respawn.
Well, I hit it almost right away.
Oh,
if you
okay.
wasn't watching then, you wouldn't have seen it.
I probably wasn't looking for legit half a second when you did it. Half a millisecond. Have you ever ate a pie on a Saturday night?
Probably.
Specifically on a Saturday night, though.
I mean, I don't know. Saturday night. I've had a lot of Saturday nights. I wonder if the decoy would work on him. Like, he looks like the kind of person that would fall for that.
Can you get me a job, please? I need a job. Guys, work woes.
No, we're not playing Gex anymore. No more work woes.
I
was sitting circle again.
I actually have no sort of work woes. The only work woes I could say is how pissed I am at my old job. But there's nothing that's basically that would be like a one and done story. I have to save that for the perfect game though.
Gex 3, obviously.
When we get to that game, I'm probably gonna forget.
My beautiful gun is destroyed.
Well, I guess we have to push Gex 3 up on the list.
That would be a one and done part though, or like deal in a part, because I don't think I could talk about it for more than like 15 minutes. I guess the only other things I could talk about was like the little nitpicks I had about certain people and stuff like that, but that's like to the extent. I hate human beings.
Are you internet?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am internet. I am internet.
I'm gonna be very curious to see how long this part is. This is definitely gonna be the longest one so far.
If I had to guess, like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Like if I had to guesstimate, even then I feel like that's kind of pushing it. Because you did 2 levels, right? And then the boss.
3. What the? I fell again.
But you won.
Yes.
This is impossible.
It ain't right.
Oh, of course. I mean, at least this one makes sense.
This one makes sense, and I can't get
I'll allow
upset.
that one.
Yeah. I mean, I'll allow all of them. You're getting free freaking.
I just find it funny that you don't get anything for the Master Thief sprints, which is a decent chunk of the
Thievius
game.
Raccoonus contain an entry from my gunslinging ancestor.
Well, guys, this is the last world of the game.
No, yeah, commentary cut at this point.
His specialty was the rail walk
Um,
and rail slide. Moves perfected.
You see me, you teach me, and I'll teach you.
Getting out of town proved to be a little more challenging than getting
Pokemon.
in.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon, man.
That was the end of
I feel like you
Muggshot's
wish
gambling
that was in the
empire.
part rather
Mesa
than
City
out of it.
citizens soon returned home. While me and the boys, well, we
Joke's
enjoyed the
on
rest of
you.
our stay in America.
It's out of it.
And then returned to
Forever.
Paris, ready for our
And
next
ever.
mission.
And no one's ever gonna hear it. No one's ever gonna know. Not even your mother. Oh wait, this is that. Oh shit.
Great. Okay, well.
I figured out a way to get us
Hey guys.
We have to see when Bernie's doing this. He's playing a PS1 portable, which I'm so used to calling them PlayStation Portables, but no, it's not a PlayStation Portable. It's a PlayStation 1 that is portable.
It's a PS1 portable, as he said. A portable PS1.
I almost forgot those things existed, but yeah, they ran around for a few years. Kind of debatable how portable they actually were, considering you still need to carry around a brick outlet, but...
As portable as... I don't know. I was gonna say something witty, but I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, well, okay.
So we will see you guys next year.
Not 45 minutes.
40 minutes. Honestly, I was being...
Still
I felt like I was being generous, because I was like,
I was
these
gonna give it
parts...
more.
Sometimes these parts feel longer than they actually are, but they're not. Which, I mean, isn't a bad thing. It's just when you go through so many levels, you think, in theory, you think it's going to be longer than it actually is.
Yeah, this isn't a game like, say, Crash to Spyro, where I can finish it and I'll, without even looking at a clock, know exactly how long it took me.
Oh, dude. I could beat Spyro 1 in, like, a grand total of 3 hours. It is such a short game.
Yeah, you don't even have to rush it, but anyway, I don't want to get off topic more than we already have, which is already like 90% of the video. So, thank you all for watching. Next time we'll go to the third area. See y'all then.